Patty Corbin for the Texas Rangers this year has been a revelation, dare I say, for that 1.1 mil that they signed him for, like deep into spring training. Dude didn't even get a spring training. 3.79 ERA through 4 starts. Did you ever think you would see the day where you'd see Patrick Corbin as the reliable number 5 starter that he is?
Uh, no, not when you consistently have like a 6 ERA every year. But he's a lefty. If you're a decent lefty, you're always going to have a spot on a MLB team.
Not just a decent
So,
lefty, a lefty who gives like 170 plus innings every year since like 2017, I think is the stat. Like nobody else does that. But um,
well, if
I
you're paying a guy like 30 million a year, you better make sure you're at least getting some innings out of him.
right, the 6 year deal he signed with the Nats. Obviously, year one worked great. The other five, not so much. But
On Corby's hot start, I think we were talking a little bit about this before we started too. It's indicative kind of the Rangers pitching staff in general right now. It kind of feels like going into the year, the only sure guy they had was Eovaldi, and everybody else was kind of a question mark. But right now, that entire rotation is overperforming, if you want to call it that. So, I mean, I think the Rangers have to love where their entire rotation's at right now.
yeah, like you look, yeah, Eovaldi, DeGrom, sub three, Tyler Malley, 1.14 ERA, like Corbin, 3.7, Jack Leiter, 2. Like whatever they're doing down there in Texas from a pitching and pitching development standpoint is obviously working. And I did a deep dive. Like I'm gonna probably regret spending a half an hour doing a deep dive on Patrick Corbin stats, but here's some of the nuggets that I found I think that are interesting for everybody. So his strikeout and walk rate this year and last year, they're basically identical, but he's given up way less hard contact. Like barrel rate, hard hit rate, all that stuff is way down this year. So I think that is helping him. But also, like, just if you do like a zoom out perspective, the defense playing behind him in Texas is so much better than it was in DC for the last couple of years. So last year in DC, they had the fifth worst team defense in terms of DRS. And for a sinker slider guy that's a ground ball pitcher, yikes. This year, Texas has the sixth best team defense in terms of defensive run saves. So I think that's helping him out a lot. Also, his catcher in DC was K. Barrett Ruiz. And if you've ever looked at like his baseball savant, he's just like the worst framing catcher in baseball. There was one year in 2023 he had negative 13 framing runs, catching framing runs. That was like the third worst. But he's got Jonah Heim, who's like consistently been in the upper echelon of framing and defensive catchers working with him. So I love this. I think Patrick Corbin's only going to get better as the year goes on, as him and Heim figure out that chemistry again, because he didn't have a spring training with him. So I'm buying number 5 starter. Like he could finish the year with a sub 4, and I wouldn't even be surprised at this point.
It's like you said, I think it's kind of like a perfect culmination of events, a lot better defense, a lot better catcher, and then whatever the Rangers are doing in their pitching lab, it's working for Corbin.
100%. So, and he got bit by a spider, and he became Spider-Man. So that was a fun sport story.
Oh, Jesus.
He's Peter Parker out there on the mound. So keep an eye on Patrick Corbin.